Hello, welcome back to Art of Awakening. My name is Ona Christie. If you don't know me, I provide spiritual oracle and spiritual mentoring services, as well as I'm a spiritual artist. And I do work a lot with spirit animals. So I've been having hawk come up quite a lot recently with clients, and I've also had several requests to do a video on hawks. So this is going to be a very brief overview of the hawk spirit animal. And let's just get started. So hawks are a type of raptor or bird of prey. Hawks tend to be sort of a mid-sized raptor. They can get somewhat big, but not nearly as big as an eagle, and a little bit bigger than something like a falcon. Hawks, I think there's a couple meanings that are associated with hawk that I would associate with hawk. One of them is the vision, because they hunt small animals, and so they have to be they're always on the lookout, and so they're always very observant. So anything having to do with vision, focus, or really awareness, okay? A hawk is a really powerful ally for anything like that. So related to that is this idea of the hawk as a messenger. And if you think of the way it hunts, it tends to take its prey by surprise. So it swoops down from above onto whatever it is it's hunting, a mouse or a vole or a rabbit. And sometimes those spirit messages do come like that, right? It's sort of like this bolt of lightning from above, and that would be kind of this hawk sort of messenger. There's other messengers like a swallow or something, or even a pigeon, but a hawk would be one of those messages that comes in that you just can't deny, that's like boom. And if you think about it, everything about the hawk really can pertain to this idea of this divine concept. They are creatures of the air, and the air typically is the element that is related to the mind, and also this idea of a very, very focused kind of message. And then finally, and there's so much more I could say about hawk, but I'd really, if hawk is coming forward for you, then I would really encourage you to look at this particular species or kind or type of hawk that is coming forward, because they hunt in different ways, and looking at the ways that they hunt and probably other things about them as well, you're going to get more information that does have symbolic meaning, and that can be part of the message of hawk for you. But briefly, I'm going to go over just a couple of the different ways that different types of hawks will hunt. There's a group of hawks called buteos, and that includes the red-tailed hawk. And they tend to be hawks, fairly large ones, broad-winged hawks that frequent the open spaces, like the open fields, the prairies. And what they do is they tend to find a perch, and they sit on it, and they look, and they wait, and they watch. When they're soaring, they're kind of looking out and looking for potential places to hunt. But then when they're actually hunting, you're going to see them in a tree, maybe on a telephone pole, and something like that, because they are just waiting very patiently for the prey to make itself seen. So patience would be one if you're dealing with one of these kinds of hawks, but not necessarily some of the other ones, right? So it would be patience and waiting for the opportunity to show itself, and then really, boom, taking action on it. Another group of hawks is called the accipiters, and this would be something like a European sparrowhawk or a goshawk. And these are hawks that they tend to be more forest dwellers, and rather than sitting in a tree, they will tend to, they're very agile, and they can kind of move through the trees and almost like a guided missile chase down their prey. Again, they also will need to have the very, the eyesight and wait for that prey to appear. and then they just go after it, and they can go, like, I've seen a video of them swooshing through the fence, and it's really exciting the way they move. So if one of these hawks is one that's coming forward for you, it would be, again, watching for that opportunity and then really going after it and not letting anything get in your way. So seeing how you can go above, underneath it, however you have to maneuver to get to your goal, to go ahead and go for that. And also, just hawks have been observed to hunt cooperatively. So they'll do things like, if they're going after a squirrel in a tree, there can be more than one of them that maybe goes after the squirrel and forces it higher and higher and higher until it gets into those really thin branches at the top where there's nowhere to hide, and then one will go snag it. So there's been multiple observances of hawks working cooperatively. So this working for a common goal can be another important meaning of hawk. So just briefly looking at the shadow side of hawk, as if hawk comes up as more of an opposing energy, or it may be just showing up in your life it can kind of point out some of the sides of us that maybe where the hawk energy may be showing up in a way that's not as friendly. That would be things like ruthlessness, like, ruthlessly going after what you want. They are pretty ruthless. They will typically just grab on and just kill with their talons. Sometimes you can actually see in the snow or the dust the outline of the hawk where it impacts its prey. Wow. Okay, so if hawk is coming up, it may be a sign of, like, just watch the impact that you're having. Are there ways to soften it? You can work with other spirit animals maybe to soften your fire just a little bit. And as well as just maybe sometimes watching, because there's this tendency when we have this idea to be grasping hold of that idea really, really strong. Sometimes, it can be really good to be very sure of oneself, but sometimes that can be like the pride that comes before the fall. So just kind of watching, is it really a truth of yours, or are you just holding on to this idea because it's what I know, right? So kind of watching that. I hope you've enjoyed this brief overview of hawk energy. If you would like more spirit animal information, subscribe to my channel, and also look at the playlist. I'm going to be posting that here. I do have several videos going. I'm also going to be uploading over the next few weeks, probably quite a few of them, because I'm doing one for every card in my spirit animal awareness deck. I'll put the link to that as well below if you'd like to order yourself a copy. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you again soon.